Hi, Fred, FR5ED, with a silent 5 here for Craft Beer Adventures. And one more beer review, well, for now. This is Pinner, P-I-N-N-E-R, Throwback IPA from Oskar Blues. First little discrepancy I ran into is that Rate Beer and Beer Advocate both list Oskar Brews as being in, Colorado. And yet I've always known it to be out of Brevard, North Carolina, which it says here on the can. Brevard, North Carolina. So I don't know if they've opened a second brewery, where they started, which one's the second one. If this is typo, I don't know. I haven't researched it enough to know. Put your comments down below if you know the answer to that. All right, so this is a session IPA, not something I usually pick up, because I'm not one to drink 4, 5, 6 in a row unless I'm spending an afternoon and an evening with friends. And even at that, I usually don't grab session IPAs because I usually don't have more than one beer an hour. It's just kind of my style. So I don't mind if it has 7, 8, even 9.3% like Lagunitas Undercover Investigation Shutdown Ale, one of my favorites. But anyway, always open to trying new things, and at least I can check out the flavor and recommend it if I like it. I don't know that I'll be a regular purchaser of session IPAs. I'm just not a binge, and I don't mean anything negative to those who drink more. I'm just saying I don't usually drink lots and lots. 1 per hour is kind of my flow. All right, let's. I'll read some more about it here in a second. I'm just going to go ahead and get it poured. Looks fairly light. I guess that maybe that's not to be unexpected for a session IPA. I don't know. I haven't had enough of them yet to know what's the standard. Extremely clear. It is yellow. It is a very light, I don't know how well you can see any light coming through there, but it's a nice yellow color. Using the SRM scale, and again, you can get an idea of what I'm looking at here. It's down in the 5 range, giving it about a 5. It's not a rating, it's a number. Evaluation, an objective look. Kind of low carbonation. The carbonation's died off, got about a 1 finger, very medium dense head. Look at the different size bubbles in there. A lot of them are larger. Anyway, before we continue with the assessment, rates on Beer Advocate rates an 86, which is very good after 910 ratings. On Rate Beer, it's a 93 overall and 94 in style, so it's gotten great marks. That's after 311 ratings there. Over on Beer Advocate, that was after 910 ratings, that score of an 86. Did I mention it was 4.9% ABV? A little light, for my tastes. I do need to get used to that, though, because when we travel to England in a couple of weeks, we're going to be over there, and I'm going to be visiting a number of pubs. My number one goal over there is, I have 2 goals. One is traditional English pubs, historical, literary type pubs, and secondly, traditional real ales, room temperature, hand-drawn, low carbonation. Really want to get that experience of old world England. That's kind of my goal. The ABV tends to run lower over there on many of their traditional offerings. So anyway, let's move into this one. Head's almost gone on there. Let's go take a smell. Holy mackerel, lots of hops there. Maybe they really want to make sure you didn't miss the hops just because it was lower ABV, and it's an IPA. They want to make sure you know that. Okay, I'm getting plenty of lemon, citrus, and I'm getting pine and cat pee. I wonder if citra hops were used in here. Never did read you the commercial description. We'll get there. Very aromatic, potently aromatic. So the hops are right there. It says, how do you cram as much hop and malt flavor and aroma as possible into beer, but make it crushable too? Crushable too. Cruisable, crushable, whatever. That's the challenge we answered with Pinner Throwback IPA at 4.9% ABV and 35 IBUs. That is not IPA territory. But And remember, the ABV affects the perception of the IBUs. Don't forget those TLAs, 3-letter acronyms. Okay, so in other words, the higher the ABV, the less bitter it tastes. So even though it may have a high IBU number, if it's a high ABV, it cannot seem as bitter. The converse may be true, and we're going to find out in just a moment. If the ABV is low, then maybe a low IBU still seems bitter. So anyway, let me finish. This drinkable IPA uses several varieties of hops to target the ever-evolving flavor, with tropical fruits, citrus juices, pineapple, and spiceberry up front in the aroma. Still getting some pine and cat pee there, sorry. In the aroma and flavor, the biscuit and toasted bread at the back balance out all the hops and make a great finish to go on to your next can of Pinner. It's a perfect beer for a little sip, give. Maybe they'd sip several of these. I don't know. Let's move ahead, finish this up, because we are really into this now, time-wise. Oh, you got the aroma idea. Let's move on. Another sip or two, and I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking. One more sip, and I'm ready. Okay. The first image I got in my head when I took that first sip, and I got it both times with the next two subsequent sips. I was in a pool, my arm up on the ledge of the pool, reached over, grabbed this, and took a sip. It's refreshing. There's definitely malt there, definitely, and there's definitely hop bitterness, not over the top, and there is a lemon flavor and aroma throughout. It's very dry. Okay, it's no sweetness in there that I can detect. This is, it's, again, the word refreshing comes to mind. It's refreshing. If I were going to be hanging around in a pool all day, I don't have one anymore. 8 months ago, we sold our house of 20 years and swore we'd never have a pool again, just because the benefits were far overshadowed by the upkeep and cost. Just that was our experience with an old pool that needed resurfacing. Won't go there, but I just did. Anyway, if I were sitting in somebody else's pool and we're leaning up there against the edge, I wouldn't mind having a cooler full of these and just sipping away on them, knowing I wasn't going to drown from imbibition. Alrighty, this is Pinner Throwback IPA, a session IPA from Oskar Blues, and this is Fred of our 5ED. Over and out.